my mind. I guess it goes like na 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 my mind. Delle queste cose na 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 na
Hello everybody, welcome to Bitcoin Daily, 9 a.m. Central European Time on the dollar. We do this show every so often because we gotta know what's happening in Bitcoin, altcoins and everything else. Guys, it is the 1st of February, the new month. We are 1 month closer to the halving, and I had a dream, guys. I had a dream, so we're gonna talk about the dream today. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. We got 17 people watching, 1 people in the chat. Robert, man, how you doing, man? Every so often, yeah, every so often. I don't know more. According to Muse, it was a good dream. It was a good dream. So, you know, there's that. I had also a beautiful dream that the people of Europe would rise up against tyranny of globals to take our freedom back. We can dream. The only thing we can do is dream. Guys, the dream went something like this. I was dreaming about Bitcoin and looking at the charts. And I was with Ivan on tech, and I was showing him the charts, and I was showing him this pattern that was about to explode, and I was trying to explain to him that, you know, how nobody sees this, but, you know, I see it and it's gonna explode. I don't know what it means, but, you know, Ivan on tech was there was Bitcoin on the chart, there was the pattern, there was the moon. So that's what I dreamt. I actually didn't dream it yesterday. I actually dreamt it, you know, 2 days ago, but, you know, didn't have you know, Bitcoin Daily yesterday, so there is that. Now, it is the 1st of February, and it is very, very exciting. So we're gonna look at, you know, a little bit of lines. There is too many lines on this chart over here. There is too many lines up here. We can zoom out a little bit here, see where we are right now. Because you can see right now, I mean, nothing is happening. We are just, you know, still getting rejected by this resistance up here. We're gonna see how this can actually play out. Let's find a clean chart over here and remove some, you know, things over here and go to the monthly time frame. No, this is not monthly time frame. Go to the monthly time frame over here, and what you're gonna see here on the monthly time frame, we got a doji, unfortunately, up here at the top, which is very, very bad. Of course, it's always some kind of topish signal up here, up there for the move. So, you know, is this gonna pull back over here? There is good probability for that. We're gonna look at that. You know, long term we are still, you know, hugely bullish. Like we said in the start, there is, you know, we are 1 month closer to the halving. Right now it's February, then comes March, April, 17 on April, it's the halving, guys. It is coming very, very fast. I don't think people understand how fast these things move. You know, 17, where is 17 up here? I have to remind you guys, I mean, there is not a lot of days left, guys. There is not a lot of days left until the halving, and every month, you know, over here this was, you know, December, over here January, up here, I mean, this is January, this is over here, you know, February, you know, March starts over here, you know, comes April, you know, two and a half months left, and it's done. 2.5 months left, guys. Can you believe that? We come a long way. Ever since the bear market, you know, down here at, you know, accumulation phase, slow move towards the upside, pump up here towards the top. It is playing out, you know, how we are expecting it to play out right now. 2.5 months left, and after that it's moon only, right? It's moon only. It doesn't have to be moon only towards the upside over here. I mean, it could go down first, but eventually the big move is still yet to happen. We are not quite there yet. Altcoins are at the bottoms and they're pulling back. Doesn't matter what kind of altcoins you look at over here. This is Cardano again. I have to remind you every single Bitcoin daily that, you know, this move up here and this pullback over here is already did you know, 30-40% of most altcoins. This is 33% pullback on Cardano, and most altcoins did pull back like big time, right? So are they gonna pull back more? I mean, we can only hope. We can only hope it's gonna pull back a little bit more, right? But it does look, you know, long term, it does look good. Everything is playing accordingly. Unfortunately, this doji up here on the monthly time frame is not actually the most bullish signal that we can actually get right now. I mean, it would be having nice that we saw, you know, we had already some kind of pullback and we had some kind of doji down here. That would be very, very nice. This could also be a doji up here and just go sideways over here before it continues towards upside. We're gonna look at that. But the doji is the most important thing on the chart that's happening right now, and right now this is on the monthly time frame as well. Now the dojis oftentimes are significant because they show indecision in the chart. So people, you know, it does not have to be the top signal. It could be just mean that we are a little bit indecisive of what's gonna happen next. This can definitely continue towards upside. If it does continue towards upside over here in the green candles, that will be hugely bullish signal. That will be hugely bullish signal. Unfortunately, I am a little bit, you know, afraid that that might not be the case just right now. Now, let's go to the daily time frame up here. We got a lot of lines up here that are very, very nice. We're gonna show all of the lines. We're gonna start with the channels. So we're gonna remove all of these other lines that are on chart so we can actually see this, what's happening up here. So over here there are a couple of channels on the chart. You can see this bottom channel up here. Right now we came to the top of that channel over here. We actually you know, went through that over here and, you know, tapped a doubling of that channel towards the upside, pulled right back midline up here, zigzagged all the way down to the bottom over here. Create this very nice bottom up here, and right now, yeah, retesting up here towards the upside, and right now pulling back again. You know, it is kind of going towards downside, and this should technically be bullish. But you know, can we do something like this over here and continue sideways up here for a longer period of time? Definitely can. Can we do another move up here to 47k and then go towards downside? We can definitely can. But what you're also gonna see is that we got a couple of other lines that are a little bit nice as well over here, and let me just show you this line over here. So this is the trend line over here that we ever since the you know, the extortion pattern up here towards upside. Once we broke that, we create this very, very nice line that goes something like this up here. We tapped that as well, so right now we are hitting that resistance level up here at the top. And as you just saw, we had this doji on the monthly time frame, so there might be a good chance, you know, to retest this line before going towards downside, or even try to go in all the way up here towards the upside before pulling back. But I think we have a little bit more pullback to go through, or consolidation before something happens. Let's dream the collab between TLI and Avon and Tech into reality. I don't know, man. What are we gonna talk about? What are we gonna talk about? You know, Ivan on Tech is you know, different type of channel. You know, he doesn't do a lot of charts. He likes charts from time to time. He has his own indicator. So maybe there will be a collab eventually. So this looks actually very, very nice. And up here at top right now, I mean, nice and nice. I mean, the lines are getting respected. So that's what's nice about the charts. Sorry about that. I don't know what's happening. So the lines are getting respected. It looks nice that way. And there are a couple of more levels up here that are very important. So if you remove the channels and move the trend line and go to the weekly time frame, you'll see up here that right now we are still in this, you know, zone, you know, called distribution zone or accumulation zone or something like that. I mean, we are still in the zone right now. And we haven't, you know, neither broken out of the zone towards the upside, nor, you know, fallen towards the upside. Even though we had these big weeks on the downside, we didn't do that. The bullish part of this zone is that this part below these three weeks over here on the downside, this bullish part is that we went into that the part where we said, you know, there is liquidity zone on the bottom side. This was the liquidity zone. We went into the liquidity zone and we picked up the liquidity. So technically right now we can actually do a nice move towards the upside. You can see also up here at the top how well we are getting respected by the lines as well. Over here at the top, very nice respect of the lines and resistance levels. So, you know, technically we could right now go towards the upside. On the other hand, after, you know, we picked up this liquidity, there is no reason to go down and, you know, pick up liquidity again. If we go towards downside, then we can actually see levels below 38k on the downside over here. That could happen, but you know, the liquidity was already picked up at 38.5. So, you know, the way I see it right now, if it wants to go up, it can. Over here we have this nice doji. We pulled it back down and we managed to hold the level up here. We're still holding the level, but you know, it's a little bit indecisive. On a monthly time frame, again, we got this big doji up here in the middle, you know, so could we pull back up here? That is definitely the case. So we haven't broken towards the upside. We haven't broken above, you know, we are not sitting above 44k levels on the weekly time frame, so you cannot say that the resistance over here is broken. On the also on the daily time frame, you'll see that again these levels that we just looked at over here are getting rejected up here. The bullish part of this rejection up here is that this pullback up here, I always say these retests are very important. They show bullishness in the chart. So I don't consider this as any kind of top. I consider it like a pivot point, and the pivot point it is. So if you look over here on the chart, this is a pivot point, right? But it's not, you know, top and we go down to, you know, something like that. It does not look like a topping out pattern. I always talk, when it comes to some kind of tops, I always talk about topping out patterns. Like, did we top out? Is there something on the chart that tells you right now that we are overextended or anything like that? And you can see right now we are just pulling back on the RSI. So this consolidation over here is just pulling us back. Over here we hit something like 84 on the weekly time frame. So you know, you have to pull back, and we have been pulling back slowly while we're consolidating up here, which is actually very nice. The RSI right now looks like it wants to break towards the downside, but it doesn't have to do that. It can just do this move over here and continue towards the upside, or it can actually break towards the downside. And then we would have these, you know, 50 levels on the RSI that we talked about before. I think, you know, a week or so, a little bit more than that, we talked about these 50 levels on the RSI that are important on the weekly time frame. So if we do pull back down over here right now, I do tend to believe that, you know, we would see these 50 levels on the RSI. I think that would be the most obvious bottom for this pullback towards downside, is 50 levels on the weekly RSI. Even though the MACD might get this bearish cross over here, you know, that doesn't mean anything, because these bearish crosses, you know, they do happen a lot of times. They do happen over here. I mean, you get these bearish crosses, but once time, you know, as soon as you get a bearish cross, you pumped up here, right? Over here, you got a bearish cross, you would dump down a little bit, but you know, you continue towards the upside. So over here, you get this bearish cross, you dump down a little bit, and then you go towards the upside. What does matter is that we are above the zero line on the weekly MACD over here on the indicator, which is actually very good. It's actually very good. So the move down here, I think, would be the most obvious bottom for Bitcoin right now, because if it goes over here, like, a lot of people are not gonna be in the trades, even though they bought this liquidity down here and right now trying to pump the price. If it goes down here, we might actually see this move down on the 54 levels on the RSI, which is again most obvious bottom in this move towards upside. On the daily time frame, that would mean that you know, if it drops down over here, that we might see some kind of 30 levels on the RSI. Over here we came to 36 level on this pullback down here to you know, 36k levels. But I think if we do pull back again towards downside, we might see this, you know, these very nice low levels, 30k levels on the downside, which would be actually very obvious bottom for Bitcoin. Right. The other thing that you can see on the RSI over here is this midline over here, give or take, and you can see up here that in this let me just, you know, arrange this a little bit better. What you're gonna see here, as soon as we started this, you know, move towards upside up here, we have been in this, you know, above the 50 levels RSI area towards upside, which is actually very good. But over here, we actually fell through that, fell through the 50. We came down to 36, and right now we're just retesting that level. So right now, everything the way I see it on the chart is telling me that we might see a decent chance for a bigger move down over here. So we might see something like this. There might be created some kind of channel over here where we hit that level on the downside, and once that level is hit, like 36k levels or something like that, then we go towards the upside. So this move down over here might actually pull back the weekly RSI back to these 50 levels, daily RSI back to the 30 levels. The MACD on the weekly time frame might actually even get us this bearish cross that gets everybody bearish, right? And I think that might be actually very nice. We often say when you are drawing the channels, you know the standard is you need 3 tops on the top, 3 you know, touches on the bottom to confirm the channel. Unfortunately, this is only for suckers, right? People do not know how to draw the channels. They need 3 tops to confirm everything, 3 bottoms, right? You know, good guys, people that know how to draw the channels and stuff like that, and you know, trends, they only need 2 tops and 2 bottoms, right? You need 2 tops, 2 bottoms, and you already have the channel. You don't need confirmation, you already have channels. And the legendary, the pros, the big traders, they need 3 touches, right? You need 2 touches on top and you need 1 on the bottom, right? Because these 2 tops will create a channel. This is technically the bottom line up here. It will come up here eventually. That's the channel. Right now over here, we have these 3 touches. So we are legendary technical analysis, traders, investors. So we can actually already do this over here right now. You can see this, we already have the channel. So right now, this pullback towards downside might go as low down as, you know, 34k, depending on when that gets hit. 34k down here on the downside. These are these bottoms over here as well. So this channel right now tells us that if this continues towards downside, it's gonna be either 34 or the midline up here at 38.9. Again, these bottom levels over here, because you can see the midline over here very, very nicely. So once we start getting down here, and I think it is very likely at least to hit the midline up here to create this double bottom before doing this move towards upside. But if this midline over here does not hold and we go all the way towards downside, then over here we might see some kind of consolidation and then move towards the upside. So right now it is, I'm a little bit I wouldn't say bearish, but you know, I'm looking for a move again, a little bit more moves towards the downside, because if this for whatever reason just breaks towards the upside, it's gonna leave me hanging. So, you know, there's that. So I wouldn't like that. But one of these moves, I think it is most likely right now. It's either either down to the midline over here, sorry, bottom line, or midline over here, and then, you know, some kind of, you know, move again out of this channel towards downside, because right now this is just dumping towards downside. There is a third scenario, and this is very, very steep channel towards downside, but there is a third scenario that I call you know, channel capitulation or trend capitulation. So the way this actually happens is the channel and the trend will go in certain between certain levels of resistance and support, and at one point it will fall out of that channel, and this is what we call a capitulation, right? So you will go in the same direction, you will fall through that, and then you will come right back inside again, right? Let me just clean the lines a little bit so you can see this better. You will go up here, you'll do something like this, you will fall out of the channel. This is the capitulation because the trend is broken. Once the capitulation happens, you get back in the channel and then you go towards the outside. That's the third, actually, the third way I see this can actually play out. Midline towards the upside, you know, retest the bottom line towards the upside, or do something like this, then, you know, capitulation and then back in and towards the upside. Now, if you're gonna have a big move towards the upside, I think this might actually be the case. If this is just, you know, slow parabolic move towards the upside and a bigger move, then you might see something like this over here towards the upside without actually any kind of capitulation move, because these capitulation move, you can also see them as, you know, springs. Springs often happen and they are very, very, you know, price will go something like that, spring and then go towards the upside, right? Because there is some kind of, you know, capitulation that happens, you know, it springs and goes towards the upside. But, you know, when it comes to the channels, if you have some kind of rising channel, you'll see often some rising channel, you will see this, you know, move out, you know, what we, you know, bad traders go, oh, it's a fake out, manipulation, and it just pulls right back in and goes the opposite direction. The same thing happens in channels that goes towards downside, goes down, goes over here, you know, fakes out everybody, you know, fake out whatever you call it, I called capitulation, and then goes back up here and continues towards the upside. Also, if you do the capitulation move over here, you will see definitely some kind of, you know, 50 RSI levels on the RSI, 30 levels on the daily. So these 30 levels on the daily, 50 levels on the side, these are the most important levels that I'm looking at. 35k support is a nice confluence with an important fib level. It is make or break level of direct bullish continuation. I don't know, but if you look at it, I mean, if you just look at a chart, without looking at the Fibonacci levels, of course. If you just look at a chart, I mean, and let's go a little bit even more, 2 weekly up here. You'll see immediately these stops up here, you know, 30k levels, very, very important. And you can see up here, you know, these 37k levels up here, very important. So I would say anything below 37k up here is very important. But if you go a little bit lower down here on the daily time frame, you will see exactly up here this move towards the upside up here. You know, this is 33k level. So, you know, this 35k level up here, I mean, it might be important, but I would regard, you know, 37k level and 30k level to be a lot more important, because if you look at like bigger time frames, like bigger time frames up here on the bottom side, right? You can see up here as well. It looks like 37k levels and these 30k levels are hugely important, right? And we came all the way down to 37k levels. So, you know, we picked up a lot of liquidity. If we go below the 37, there is even more liquidity to pick up there. So could we pull back even more than that? I mean, definitely can. But the way I see it, again, guys, every single day until the halving, after the halving, until the bull market up, the dips are buying opportunities right now. You know, when you go, it goes towards downside, the dips are not buying opportunities, right? The dips are not buying opportunities because it just dips more, right? It dips and then, you know, it continues dipping more, right? So the dips are not buying. Even this dip, you think it's gonna, yeah, eventually it goes even below that, right? The dips are not buying opportunities once the bull market ends. Once bull market ends, you need to wait all the way into the capitulation phase. Then the dips become the buying opportunities. Doesn't matter what kind of dip it is, the dips are buying opportunities, right? Every single one of these dips was like 20% dip towards downside, right? Even now we have a 20% dip towards downside. How much was this dip over here? This is like 30% up here, and we know, you know, how much these are 22% dips. So every single dip was a buying opportunity, literally between 20 and 25%, beside this 27%. I mean, every single dip was a buying opportunity. Up here 20% again, every single dip is a buying opportunity right now towards the upside. And I'm gonna keep on saying it until the bull market top. Every single dip is a buying opportunity, because even though it dips, like what's gonna happen? Like we haven't had the halving, right? And you see like every single altcoin is still at the bottom. I mean, not every single altcoin. There are definitely altcoins that did 10x, 15x, stuff like that. There is definitely altcoins that pumped a lot. But altcoins are a lot of altcoins are still on these bottom levels, waiting for Bitcoin to move after a halving towards the upside for everything to explode. We are not there, but we are getting close. We are getting close, and it's getting nice. Now, if my dream is legit, then, you know, the pattern says pump very, very soon. Unfortunately, this is just consolidating very, very tightly up here at the top. And if you look at a chart like this is 2-week chart up here. This doesn't look like a top to me. Like, have you ever seen a chart where there is some major top that goes something like this over here? No, you haven't. I mean, maybe, but you know, it's not a top. It's consolidation. It's consolidation that looks nice. Yesterday there was also one thing I want to mention. I think that was yesterday, the day before, we had the FOMC meeting, and as you can see, guys, there is no volatility anymore on the FOMC meetings, because I don't believe the FOMC meetings mean anything anymore. In the start they were very, very volatile, because you know, we had interest rates down to 0, and then suddenly they were pumping them by 0.5% every single, you know, a couple of months. And every single time they did it, like, there was a lot of volatility, there was a lot of excitement about, you know, what's gonna happen next. Right now, nobody cares. So, you know, my advice to everybody, not, you know, financial advice, whatever, but my advice is, like, stop watching the FOMC meeting, guys. It does not matter anymore. Can it be some kind of volatility based on the FOMC meeting? Yes, there definitely can, but really nobody cares anymore. And the last FOMC meeting yesterday, or whenever that was, the interest rates are unchanged. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You know, inflation is at 5-6% or whatever it is at now, at least in Norway. And your money that you have in bank, if you have 1 million at the start of the previous year, and you have still 1 million, that purchasing power can no longer buy your car that costs 1 million, because, well, technically, because, I mean, the car has to go in up in price. But, you know, everything gets more 6% more expensive. So your purchasing power of whatever money you have in the bank is going down by 6% in a year. Now, if you're unaware about exponential growth. If you're unaware about exponential growth, anything that grows by X amount of percentage over time is exponential growth. And 6%, that means that it takes 10 years for your money to go from 100% to 50%. In 10, if you got a 1 million, that 1 million can no longer buy 1 million of whatever. It can only buy 500,000 of whatever, because the purchasing power of that after 7% is gonna be halved in 10 years. So we are very close to, you know, that we are very, very close to that 7% mark, at least here in Norway. I think it's 5 or 6% right now. So exponential growth means that anything that has X amount percent growth over a certain amount of time, the time depends on, you know, how much, you know, growth there is, but 7% is 10 years halvening time. So everything, every exponential function has a halvening time of certain amount of years, depending on the percentages. So if you have 7% increase per year, after 10 years, whatever you have in the bank, it loses 50% of value. So, you know, keep your money in the bank, guys. No, I don't think so. So, when it comes to rich people care about one thing at two things, but, you know, one thing in particular, and that is that every single year, whatever money they have, whatever assets they have, it will beat inflation. That is the most important thing in their life. Beat inflation, because as long the way they think is, as long as I work, you know, I keep on getting more and more money, it's gonna be fine as long as I keep beating inflation. So, you know, there is that. Keep beating inflation, guys. And there's that. So there is that. That's Bitcoin. I don't think we're gonna look at anything else. You know, BTC. Let me look at this chart over here, because this actually fell out of the channel again. Is this, you know, capitulation move up here that, you know, comes right back up here again or not? We do not know, but this actually looks very, very bad. So it looks like Ethereum might actually bleed against Bitcoin for a while again. This does not look good at all. So the part up here when it comes to Ethereum versus Bitcoin is that Ethereum goes in this falling wedge up here, gets down here, creates this double bottom down here, gets up here towards top, breaks the top. But over here you can see up here that Ethereum failed to break the top, pull back below the support level again, and this actually looks very, very bad. So can we expect more move towards downside? I would say we can, because if it next week or two it doesn't get back inside this, you know, falling wedge up here, I would expect this to break the support level up here and go into capitulation down here again. Could you check daily, weekly time frame Palladium metal chart? I'm looking for long in on it. Yeah, sure, man. Never look at a chart. So, you know, new charts, Palladium, I'll always look at, man. Is this Palladium? Daily, weekly, monthly chart. Oh, this is down so much, man. But it, you know, if you look at it on monthly time frame, doesn't seem to have. It's down 68%, coming to this, you know, this major level of resistance over here. You can see up here where it's right now. You can see these stops over here, like this stop over here, this stop, this stop. You can see this bottom over here. You can see right now it's exactly at that level right now. The big question is, did it hit capitulation, right? Do we have volume? There is no volume on this. Let's look at moving averages up here. Let's look at the moving averages up here. Now, monthly is down here at the 30 level. So this is very, very low for the Palladium. I mean, it's below 200 moving average. You can see up here nicely on the monthly time frame how it bounced on the 200 moving average. Over here, you can see up here right now it's coming to 30 levels on the other side. And here's another very, very bullish sign on Palladium. You can see how this actually is dropping very sharply towards us. Look at the momentum up here. The momentum is actually, it is pushing it down, but the momentum is actually going towards the upside. So this actually looks very, very good. And even though it's being pushed down, the spring is looking like it's kind of waiting to do this move up here. Now, this is monthly chart, so it can do, you know, this move up here and go towards upside. It can consolidate up here and then drop towards upside, but it's starting to look very bullish. So I would be definitely starting looking at some kind of bottom over here. Now, the 200 moving average already looks like some kind of bottom. And there is already, if you look at it very, very closely over here, you'll see there is actually divergence on the monthly area chart already. You can see this bottom over here, and you can see this bottom over here, and this already goes towards downside, right? I mean, if this continues dumping, then it might actually create no divergence, but right now there seems to be, you know, intermediate divergence up here so far. But if this continues dumping up here, there might, then this might actually go below the level of 30 levels, and there might be no divergence. But right now, if this for whatever reason pulls back up here, that might be divergence. So let's look at this bottom over here. See, do we have any kind of, you know, bottom over here being created up here? I mean, there was a, you know, divergence up here and it pumped towards the upside. There is no divergence on upside up here, and over here it created that. Is there a divergence up here as well? No, there is no divergence up here because this is just below it. But if it had gone towards downside a little bit, so I mean, this looks actually very, very nice. This looks like a bottom over here. This looks like a bottom. What can happen is that it does this, you know, consolidation move while this coming up here, then do a spring up here and then towards upside. I'm a little bit unsure about the springs because I don't know how, you know, this chart moves, this Palladium moves. But if there is a lot of hype and there is a lot of people trading and there is a lot of emotion, then you get springs. I think springs come because of the emotion part where people, you know, get faked out and then goes towards upside, right? So watch for that, watch for it. But this does look like it's creating this, you know, consolidation down here at the bottom at right now, and 30 up here, that might actually bounce towards upside. I haven't analyzed the chart too much, but there might be that. There might be that. Let me see even bigger charts, 2-month chart up here. Is this Bitcoin kind of type of chart, like something like this over here? I don't know if it's gonna go down to 600 or something like that. Yeah, but there is that, there is that. It looks interesting. This is 2-month chart. Let's look a little bit bigger, 6-month chart, because we just had that over here. 6 months coming to this 50 moving average over here at 816. This stops up here. I mean, this should definitely be some kind of very major level of resistance, 860 or something like that. Can it dip all the way down there on the weekly time frame? I mean, it's not that far, right? Because over here right now, what it's doing up here right now, is creating this liquidity zone, right? So it hits the bottom over here, it bounces, it hits the bottom, it bounces, it hits the bottom, it bounces. So 3 times over here it hit the bottom and bounce. So over here there's definitely liquidity picked up. So if it wants to do a wick down, it can and pick up liquidity and go towards the upside, right? But it does look like it's very, very low. It does look like it's very, very low. Okay guys, that's it for today. Thank you for stopping by. I'm bullish as ever. There was a dream. The dream is good. And you know, bigger time frames eventually, you know, the moon is the target. We are not there yet, so there is that. Enjoy the day, guys. Enjoy the day. I got my coffee. I'm gonna go you know, do some you know, stuff, and you know, enjoy. And before we go, of course, we're gonna the music. We gotta have that. Bye bye, guys.